The room was buzzing with champagne glasses clinking and soft laughter, but all she could feel was the cold weight of humiliation pressing down on her. Her elegant dress, carefully chosen for the night, was now torn at the hem, the delicate fabric shredded by the cruel hands of someone who had mistaken her for a mere waitress. Her cheeks burned with embarrassment, eyes stinging as whispers and snickers circled around her. She had walked into the world of wealth, power, and glittering privilege, only to be crushed by arrogance and cruelty within seconds. Yet, in that same moment, her heart refused to break completely. If kindness and dignity had a voice, hers was about to speak louder than the sharpest insult. If you believe in kindness and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, Soulful Stories. She had always been careful, a woman of humility and quiet grace, working tirelessly at her small boutique business. Life hadn't been easy, she had faced hardship, betrayal, and loneliness, but she had always held on to hope, believing that good hearts eventually met good fortune. The gala she attended that night was meant to be a small step into a world she had long admired from afar, a world where elegance and wealth seemed unattainable. But she had promised herself she wouldn't let fear hold her back. Her plan was simple: observe, learn, and network, all while staying true to herself. Then came the sharp laugh, cutting through the soft music like a blade. The CEO's girlfriend, a woman draped in diamonds and scorn, had mistaken her for a mere server. With a sneer, she had grabbed at the skirt of her dress and ripped it down the side, exposing the vulnerability beneath her carefully chosen attire. Time seemed to freeze. The room's laughter felt like daggers piercing her pride. She could feel the weight of judgmental eyes, each one questioning her worth, her place in this glittering world. In that moment, she wanted to vanish, to disappear into the shadows of her own dignity, but instead, she stood tall, her hands clenched, refusing to cry. Her struggle wasn't just in the torn fabric or the whispered mockery, it was in the quiet, gnawing self-doubt that threatened to consume her. She thought about all the nights she had spent alone, working to make ends meet, dreaming of a life where she didn't have to apologize for her modest clothes or small apartment. She remembered the countless times society had whispered that she wasn't enough, that she would never belong in a world of opulence. And yet, she had survived. She had learned resilience in the face of humiliation. And tonight, she would not bow to cruelty, no matter how powerful or polished the source. The CEO, tall and imposing, finally noticed the commotion. He wasn't like his girlfriend, he was quiet, observant, and seemingly indifferent to the petty dramas of high society. But as his eyes fell on her, there was a flicker of recognition, a spark that even the harsh lights of the gala could not dim. He saw not the torn dress or the embarrassment, but the grace, the dignity, and the raw humanity that shone through the humiliation. Something inside him shifted. He stepped forward, his presence commanding attention, and gently guided her away from the mocking crowd, his gaze steady, protective, and full of unspoken admiration. That night marked the beginning of a transformation she could never have anticipated. What started as a public humiliation slowly blossomed into a relationship built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. The CEO, who had watched her resilience from a distance, offered not pity, but partnership. He showed her that wealth and privilege could be gentle when wielded with care, that power could be a shield for kindness rather than a weapon for cruelty. She, in turn, brought light into his life that money could never buy, a sense of humility, joy in small moments, and the courage to be vulnerable. Her boutique business, once small and struggling, flourished under his subtle guidance, not because of money alone, but because he believed in her vision, her creativity, and her capacity to inspire others. The torn dress became a symbol, a reminder that life's most painful moments often lead to the most profound transformations. She no longer feared humiliation or judgment, she had discovered the quiet power of dignity, resilience, and inner strength. Yet, the most extraordinary change was not in her life, or even in her business, but in the way people began to see her. The same society that once mocked her now looked on with admiration, not because she had gained wealth, but because she had carried herself with courage and kindness through adversity. Her story, whispered at first, grew into a tale of inspiration, a reminder that even when life rips at you, you can emerge stronger, kinder, and more radiant than ever. As she stood once more at a gala, this time as a celebrated guest rather than a mistaken waitress, she felt the weight of the past lift. The CEO, her husband now, held her hand, not as a protector, but as an equal. And in that hand, she felt a promise that life's cruelty could never truly define her. She had discovered that dignity, courage, and kindness were worth far more than any gown or glittering jewel. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power of resilience and kindness, please engage with this video, like, comment, and share. Your support keeps these heartfelt stories alive. Before we end, I have a special request. Comment below with the one moment in your life when someone's kindness changed everything for you. Sometimes, the world may mistake your worth, sometimes cruelty may strike when you least expect it, but true hearts are always seen, recognized, and cherished. And when they are, the story that unfolds is nothing short of extraordinary.